Laura and Stuart happily ever after. 2014 was a wonderful year. This love story began, now we find ourselves here. Both Laura and Stuart were heavily involved in young farmers. Needless to say, Stuart, one of the charmers. 4 years in the making, the grand plan was written. Stuart bowled over and Laura was smitten. On the 12th of December in 2018, Bickerton Hills was the chosen scene. Not to be bowled out or caught for a duck, Stuart popped the question and prayed for good luck. Laura accepted and this journey began. Plans for their wedding just ran and ran. Stuart was welcomed from the whole Holman clan. Malcolm, like Stuart, a huge cricket fan.
Jane and I are very proud that he's now our son-in-law, and as manners and integrity reflect the man, he had the decency to ask us for Laura's hand in marriage. I turn to you, Laura. You look fantastic today. You continue to make your mum and I very proud. Laura has developed into a fine young woman. I feel privileged to have walked you down the aisle.
I, Stuart, take you, Laura, to be my wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. To love and to cherish, till death us do part.
I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife.
Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds, and we're starting to see that we're onto something. Feel it coming, we'll keep running, nothing in our way, and we got no reason to wait. Let the journey take you where it wants to. We'll continue to find our way through anything we face. We got what it takes. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day. It's ours to take and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
It was on the annual Young Farmers Christmas pub crawl. I met Laura in a pub near Beeston called the Bull. Now, it took me almost a year to ask Laura out on a date, but without a thought she agreed. It must have been fate. Somehow we ended on date number 2, as Laura describes it, an 8-hour ordeal, including a walk, meal and trip to the zoo. The more time we would spend together, the more you would drive me round the bend, but it soon became apparent you were truly my best friend. Exciting times lay ahead, we were certainly having a ball. Then in 2017 we purchased our very first home in Tatton Hall. It was here I first saw Laura really in her prime, often referring to herself as the Queen of Interior Design.
Tatton Hall. Then, a move nearer to the farm, Yew Tree Lodge, filled with love and with charm. Stuart working with Roger, his dad, as Roger, with past Sadler generations had.
Here we go.
Throughout the pandemic, Laura's nursing went on. Her strength and tenacity both really shone. Caring for others with risks to herself, Laura's priority, her patient's good health. It's reassuring to know, once Stuart's home from the farm, Laura ends every day in her cricketer's arms.
It's ours to take and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins. begin.
In the summer of 2019, we moved to Yew Tree Lodge, where Laura would have to put up with living next door to Helen and Rog. But we soon settled into life in peaceful Aldersea. Then 6 months later, on Bickerton Hill, I got down on one knee.
Filled with wonder, now we finally see.
So finally we are here to witness this day, as Stuart and Laura eventually say their vows to each other, saying, I do, forsaking all others to be with you.
And a chance to see.
Now Laura wanted plenty of time to plan her big day, but little did we know how much COVID would get in the way.
Here we go.
960 days have passed since you agreed to be my wife, but after all the work and tears, standing there today in Bunbury, you must realise how lucky you are to marry such a handsome fella like me. So there we go, ladies and gents. I finally got myself a nurse. The girl I vowed to be there for better and for worse.
And now
We've had plenty of ups and downs, but knowing you're always next to me seems to make life a lot easier. I never dreamt I could be this lucky.
feel it.
Laura, you're beautiful, funny, intelligent and caring. We now have the rest of our lives together as we're officially a pairing.
And a chance to see. I never
Now all that remains are our very best wishes for your new life together as Mr. and Mrs.
Here we go, with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.